Parkland, Florida, Uvalde, Texas. These school shootings that happened there. Further evidence for my revelation that I would rather be abused than neglected. How long did it take these guys to let their men in? That's a poor general that doesn't send his men into a battle where they're like 10 to 20 on one. Geez, just one. It's not even like they're 2 against 20 or 40, where they could cover each other's back and all that stuff. Beer froze up. Got a slushy. Yeah, so they hold them off for whatever reason. And what I've learned, you know, I'm sure I've learned it, but working with mentally handicapped, you actually have to learn more about it. They make you sit and take class and talk about neglect, abuse is physically, it's like a positive act. You're putting something out, and like positive reinforcement. People use the fucking phrase wrong all the time, but it's because it's become regular. Beer's frozen up. You know what they say? Cold beer, cold heart. Neglect is like negative, taking something away. Neglect. So abuse, you got some assisted care living home where people are just, they take the job because they like punishing people. I've seen people that were taking a job just because they were angry and they got to yell at people. It was their personality. I'm like, what are you even fucking doing here with these people? This was a good group of people. They treated me very well, and I got to wrestle. Judas! Come on in. That's not me. That's Otto. He was like that. And he had like 4 rows of teeth, and he was shaking, and he was just like, and he's tipping shit over, and yeah, they would call me in to wrestle. And somebody said he doesn't have any chromosomal defects, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really believe you worked too hard on that one. So maybe you want to beat Otto up, or if it's neglect instead of abuse, you just want to leave him in a room somewhere, especially if he's physically impaired, he can't get up and do his own stuff. You're maybe just lazy, or you like to hear people scream from other rooms. It reminds you of church as a kid when the babies are crying and you're wondering, where are these fucking babies at? They take them out somewhere, and it just, yeah, from the moment I was a kid, I heard babies crying in church from behind the walls. It made me wonder, what the fuck is going on back there? So I'm standing on the balcony. So neglect and abuse. Neglect is just as punishable as abuse. Somebody dies either way. And that's what I see happening here. Or they want to charge a guy with something, charge him with neglect. Didn't do a goddamn thing. Told his people to come out. I haven't been watching this stuff. Comes and goes. But I have to believe if these guys were there for an hour and that guy was inside alone, they were probably hearing gunshots from inside the building. And whereas this guy is abusing these children, he's only being allowed to abuse them out of neglect of leaders. So let's not talk about a fucking abuse or neglect, one or the other thrown at the guy. Throw fucking abuse and neglect at him, because that's what those children suffered. Abuse by the shooter and neglect, wondering why isn't anybody coming to help me. I'm sure they heard the sirens outside. I always do.